It is Monday, April 6th, 2026 at 10:12 o'clock Eastern at the time of recording this video. There's a lot of bad forecasts that it's pretty much going through the whole week, even tonight. So let's get straight to it. I know it's a little more of a later video. I'll be recording tomorrow and tomorrow night, but we're going to start seeing later videos. That's all I have to say. So yeah, let's get straight into the forecast. Drop a like because we're going to be covering all what's going to happen throughout the week, which can cause possible covers. There's a bunch of weather all around the USA, so let's get straight into the forecast. All right, we're starting off quick. Starting off quick here. We need to talk about our participation. There's going to be some very severe weather over here in Texas and Oklahoma. That is our main threats for the next couple days here and pretty much the whole week. Also up here, upper Midwest too. There's a lot to talk about, so just hang tight here. So as we can see, Oklahoma City, we have most of this covered. That the rainfall and stuff is over Dallas and Oklahoma City. There's also threats at western Iowa, but it's also like a 2%, so let's not worry too much, but still be ready for this and still watch this because it's still going to be bad. So what I'm talking about is I'm talking about some heavy rain coming in, which can cause more flash flooding. We can see there's also a big drought over here. Let's go back to where we were. Let's go back to there. Okay. Sorry, those are my shortcuts. I just practiced them. But there's some major risks over here. But we can see Dallas, you're in this whole thing unless you... My drawing's not working. Unless you live like right over here on Highway 20 around there. Well, then you're in the severe weather. But severe weather, this has caused severe thunderstorms and a lot of bad stuff happening. But if we go up here in western Iowa, we can see like it's covered in a heavy rain because there's like a whole nother storm that's going to develop here that might come over here, over in Peoria, Springfield, over there, which can cause a lot of flash flooding. I mean, look at all this flash flooding that's in your guys' face. It's a lot. I know. But yeah, this is our participation. And this is through the next around 7 days. This is about a 3-day onset. And it's going to and the snow and stuff, okay? Next, let's talk about something more categorical, kind of. It's a little too early in the week to tell, but like, if I can find anything. But once we get on to at least, let's see, today's Monday. At least Wednesday and around Thursday, we can see the risk starting getting higher. This severe weather onset starts around Friday, as of right now. Friday to at least Monday afternoon, which will cause early covers in the morning. Like, I'm talking starting at 7 a.m. for covers, but we don't know yet. So, like, I can't really give you, like, the, severe risks yet, because it's way too early in the week to tell and stuff, so I don't even have it. It goes up to day 3. We can see we have a bunch of risks on Thursday, but we can see there's storms. See if this works. Yes, my drawing works. But we can see there's storms that's coming up from over here, from like northwestern Illinois to west Illinois. That's going to make its way down here eventually and cause a couple new storms to happen around Oklahoma that travel its way down to upper Texas and over there in Dallas. So that's why we're looking at, this is why it's good to look at like the forecast that is like, that it's like so like, how do I say this? That's like what's developing. But you can see there's going to be huge storms developing over here that's going to eventually make its way down here. But now we're talking about over here in Houston. We're talking more, we got to talk more east. You can see east down here. There's a whole nother storm that's going to probably start over here in Waco. It's going to probably really develop and start developing and make it actually more severe over here in Bryan, Huntsville, and Concord. But I'm expecting this to come all the way down here, right here, Gulfport. It's probably not going to be the worst storm, Like this storm appears to be more severe. But you can see definitely a big storm developing over here, which can cause severe thunderstorm. It's like a 2% right now, but like I wouldn't worry too much on that one. And then right here, over here, which we'll talk about flooding over here in just a second. This should be really changed to like a moderate risk, but it's too early in the week to tell, so they're not going to put a moderate risk because it's too early in the week. But there's likely to have big severe thunderstorm warnings, embedded tornadoes, and a lot of warnings. We can see there's already gale warnings over there. And there's so much storms and stuff that's going to cause flooding, so that's why we should go to our flooding. Let's go to our excessive rainfall. So we can see there's a big marginal risk right here on eastern Florida. Like I'm talking Orlando, Daytona Beach. This is right by the coast of the right. So this is Atlantic Ocean. With South Carolina and all of that, you guys are not in this yet, but I would still watch out because there's probably going to be reports in by Friday about it. But we can see up here, there's a big risk for flooding on the sides because this is where all our severe thunderstorm warnings and stuff are going to happen. Down over here, excessive rainfall. But you can see as of right now, it's developing over here. This can start. This is like the start of it. But once we go to tomorrow, it's going to shift over here. It's going to even more develop, and it's going to be pretty bad by the night. If we go to day 3, it goes a little more longer because it's going to spread. If we go to day 4, it starts over there, but pretty much ends. But likely to stay on day 5. It's too early to tell, but it's likely to come back on day 5. But yeah, we can see it develops day by day. Starting at day 1, day 2, and day 3. You can see day 3 is probably going to be the worstest. But yeah, that's with our excessive rainfall. Next, we gotta talk about wind and reflect humidity. That's not okay. We can see by day 2, which is tomorrow. We can see over here, western Georgia. There's gonna be dry and elevated thunderstorms. A big drought over here, which we'll talk about our drought in just a second. But there's gonna be a huge drought there, and it's gonna be very dry and stuff. The only way that this really ends is if the flooding is actually really bad and it spreads over here. But what we're talking about over here, I'm talking about this is like a bad fire warning. This is elevated and critical. It's likely to get very dry thunderstorms and cause major elevated fire risk, which can cause very dry and not likely to rain for a while unless storms spread from the Florida coastline, which will probably die down by the time it gets like right on the edge of it in Valdosta. But yeah, just watch out for fire risks. But there's also one up here because it needs to rain a little bit up here or it needs to be dry. Fire warnings before we really get into all our storms. So that's that. Just a little risk there. Let's talk about our huge drought now so you guys get what I mean with the... We just gotta talk about... Oh no. If I can find it. Alright, before we go on that, let's talk about our temperature. We can say it's gonna bake a lot. Days 6 through 10. We can see it's gonna start baking. So day 6 is by Saturday. So once we get on to Saturday, we can see, look at our huge map. We're going to have our huge shift again from over here, Los Angeles. It's going to get cold and all that over here in California. We're going to have our huge shift. But before we get all of that, there's also going to be snowstorms, which actually we should get to first. If we go to tomorrow... Okay, wait, that doesn't... Hold up, guys. Let me find something real quick. Oops, not dry. Snow. So talking about our snow amounts, we can see up here northwest. So it's gonna snow likely tomorrow because tomorrow, if we're checking about like Chicago weather, we can see they're in a little bit of a winter weather area, but it is like snow because it's not really a normal thing. It just needs to likely snow before it gets like warm again and stuff. Because if we're gonna get all this severe weather, it's gonna go cold to warm, which is gonna cause severe thunderstorms and tornadoes by at least Friday. It's gonna be cold. Wednesday it's gonna take a break, which can cause tornadoes, but Tuesday and at least Thursday or Friday, I'd say it's gonna get warm and yeah. But it's gonna be some bad weather. So starting today, there's the risk of snow. But if we go to tomorrow, it moves up here, up to Chicago. And there's going to be snow because tomorrow, 38 degrees, I'd say. It's going to be pretty cold, and yeah. But then we go back to day 3, which is when it's going to might cold again. It's the same risk. Alright, let's go back to our temperature. We can see it's going to start baking over here in Nashville, under here in Springfield. I'm talking about some big changes. It's going to be a huge shift. So here right now, I'd say about today and tomorrow, you're going to get like last 70-degree days, but then it's going to go to at least 50 degrees. And then we're going to have a huge shift, and I'd say down here in Springfield, we're going to get like 80, 90 degrees. Up here in Chicago, 75 degrees. But we really got to talk about our big severes up here in Nashville when it gets 95 degrees and stuff. And it's going to get a little bit of a big risk of it, which it might be a little scary and frightening to people. It is April, but this is our adjust to warm weather. It's going to keep shifting for the next couple weeks. But yeah, it's going to get pretty bad. And then it gets down here, which Florida, up here in Jacksonville, are going to watch out. But in California, it's going to warm up a little bit down here. But yeah, it's going to, and then over here, it's a big risk in Atlanta, which this is going to cause fires to happen, which really mean our risk there. And week 4, it's going to be back warm here, and it's going to shift again. But it's kind of too early to talk about that. Let's now talk about our drought. If you guys do not know what a drought is, it's like a big weather change and like it gets dry and stuff. So we can see there's some big dark spots which can cause fire warnings and stuff. We can see our maps all covered up with droughts. But like, if we don't really need to talk about yellow. It's amberly dry up here. It's like not that bad, moderate, not that bad. What we really got to talk about is our extreme, and which this is not likely, but an exponential drought, which is like really bad, which is likely to cause flooding. But over here, up here in Fort Wayne, Bowling Green, there's gonna be extreme drought. The reason why is all around there's so much moisture coming in that it's gonna be very dry and it's not gonna rain. So Fort Wayne, finally, you guys are not gonna be in the storm. But down here in Houston, San Antonio, New Braunfels, Houston, Victoria, it's gonna get a big fire cross over here. I'd say like right there. It's gonna become a moderate fire risk and elevated. Really get over here, which is, there's already fire listed there, but yeah. If we go to our monthly warnings, it gets a little lower and stuff, but it's still drought removal, and it's seasonal. It's not that bad. It's just like this pretty much week. But we do also got a lot of above average temperatures, especially over here and over there. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys. No sponsors, it's just like, yeah. But a lot of nice weather coming for the next 3-ish days, we can see. And yeah. So I'm going to upload now, and stay safe and get ready for all the bad weather that's going to come. We're going to be covering all of this throughout the week. Yeah, I'll see you guys. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys. Bye.